My co-host here is John. John, welcome to the uh,
Thank you.
podcast.
Thank you very much, bro.
This is your first time being here, right?
Yeah, it's my first time, bro.
I've been trying to get you for a minute now.
It's
So
been a year.
it's been a year.
Yeah.
Well, we have paused for a long period of time, so
Right.
wouldn't even count that. So, you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Just something about yourself that
I
you would
mean,
want to
you've
say.
you've pretty much said it all. My name. S-
It, my name is my name.
yeah, I'm John, Justin's friend.
Yeah, fair. All right, I'm gonna go with this question then.
Yeah.
What is going on with the universities?
Oh, what's going on to universities?
That was
Oh.
that was a joke. Remember,
Bro, you got me. You got me. Well, yeah, that's fine.
remember we talked about it as a prep.
Right.
So let's focus on this one aspect, which is I remember when I think when you first came to the States, right?
Yep.
And the biggest thing that we were communicating about was regarding making it in life.
Right.
And we want to make it in life. And we have the drive, and you have the drive, which is like the desire to make it. So, yesterday, I think we were talking, and you said something that would come up attention, which I want to start with it. And that was currently right now in your sphere of influence,
Right.
like when you find it in college, because you're going to university right now.
Yeah.
There are people that their drive is just different than yours because it's not only about not having a clear vision of where they're going, but
Right.
it's also about really not having the motivation to do it. So I want to start with a simple question, which is what motivates you?
Oh, that's an interesting question, really. Um, I don't really think I drive on motivation. Yeah, I don't really think I drive on motivation because, in my opinion, motivation is subject to convenience. When that factor that motivates you is taken away, it becomes hard for you to work towards that goal. So I really think the point is having the hunger to see everything that you're involved with come to life. Anything that you're trying to pursue come to life, because we have all these dreams and aspirations like we've been sharing.
Yeah.
But if we don't have the hunger to get that, and if we don't have the hunger to pursue everything that we want to pursue, it's all going to be in vain if we just rely on motivation. So to me, I pretty much think it's the hunger that makes you great in everything you do. You gotta have the hunger, because I mean, the only cure to hunger is eating.
Yep.
So if you don't eat, you have to strive to eat. Until you eat, you won't do
You
anything.
want to do it. And,
Yeah.
and what if you find something to eat? What then? What's going to drive you again? Hunger? The fear of going without it?
Yeah. The fear of going without it, because then you know that I'm at a place where I can attend this thing. So, and it feels good to attend that. So you'll be searching for more in that case. Yeah. You'll be searching for more. You'll be having that fear, like you've said, the fear to get hungry again. So you're gonna build more capacity as you eat.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna build more capacity until you can't stop.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So, in the pursuit, because something about hunger,
Yeah.
which I've noticed, is that when you're hungry, like really, really hungry,
Yeah.
sometimes you tend to make decisions that are not rational decisions.
Right.
Would you like resonate with that?
Mm, well, that's kind of different. Um, I don't think
Like
I look at it that way.
if you want something so bad,
Right.
you're willing to do anything for it, right? Because the primary things, we are replacing motivation with hunger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if we are replacing motivation with hunger, which, like you say, motivation is fleeting, temporary, it's something that you cannot rely on.
Yeah.
We replace that with hunger, right?
Yeah.
If you're hungry for something so bad, you're willing to do anything for it.
Of course,
Yeah. Now,
everything within what you can do, of course, and everything that is in line with your pursuit. Yeah.
okay. So my question then will be, can you sacrifice yourself in the pursuit of that which you are aiming for that growth or whatever you are aiming for?
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one. Well, how I look at it is when we talk about all these things, we talk about like pursuit, trying to get big out there and all that. I don't think the idea is to sacrifice yourself, but rather being a better version of who you're meant to be.
Mm,
Yeah. So it's not really about giving up your assignment as God ordained you to do on this earth, but just being a better version at that, being excellent at that. So that's really the consideration and how I look at it.
mm.
Instead of giving up who you are, but just try to be a better version of who you're meant to be.
I think in the pursuit of whatever that you are aiming for, which I think most people don't realize, if you do the things that you are required to do, you're most likely to get it, right?
Right.
You're most likely to get it. But if you're hungry enough to get it, that means you have the potential to go astray as well.
Well, it's twofold.
Yes.
There's there's that there's that scenario, but there's also the scenario where um you put everything lined up in place. And of course not forgetting God, because if you're consistent
Mm-hmm.
with what you want and you know that this is how I want to play out my success story, and you put in God in it, of course, if you just look at it like my brother always tells me, you can't rely too much on logic.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be led somehow to pursue for what you want to pursue, right?
Yeah.
And not just rely on that hunger by yourself. But the hunger is much more of a good example, like I gave you earlier, because when you're hungry, you would want to eat,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, so the hunger is supposed to be there, of course, but you would also have to let God lead you in a way, so that in every way rather, so that you don't go astray. So that's to cater for that question
But
you see, to you're
yeah.
asking me about having the potential to go astray,
Yeah.
because yeah,
So it's twofold
yeah,
then,
it's twofold at the end
because
of the day.
it's like a sword where you can, like you can potentially conquer with it,
Yeah,
but you can potentially harm
harm
yourself with it.
yourself. Yeah, so it's how you choose to work with it.
Yeah. Right now, in, let's say, for instance, in the course of your life, would you say that you have done, in the pursuit, you say you have done well enough to align yourself in the best possible way, that not only when God can use you, but when the opportunity presents itself to you,
Yeah.
you are able to take advantage of it? Would you say you have done a great job in that sense?
Well, if I'm to be honest, I'm still in the process. Like we're still growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd be arrogant to say I'm 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 already there,
Yeah.
but we're doing great. I can't lie.
So how are you doing right now, though?
I'm doing great. I'm
Making it. So
You're getting there.
okay, I'm gonna shift it from that being that. So the key theme is basically wanting to be rich.
Right.
Uh, there's this quote: "There is no nobility in poverty."
Right.
Right, and growing up as we grew up, we know what it means to be poor.
Of course.
So why is it that? What do you think is the reason that we are chasing after destroying poverty in our life completely?
Well, the first response would be what you've already said,
Yeah,
because of where we come from.
that is true.
That's top. But every time we talk about being rich, it's, of course, we put money in the picture. We put being wealthy in the picture.
Yeah,
But I feel like being rich has to be in all aspects of our lives, right? So, I mean, you can be rich with resource, but not rich in the mind. So, how well are you gonna train your mind to
but
be able to take care of
can
those
you
riches?
really be rich with resource without being rich in the mind? Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, the possibility is there, but of course,
Because I've never met a rich person who is poor in the mind.
never did.
No.
Well, this is a public podcast. I can't mention names.
No, well, I'm talking about personally. I'm not talking about like on social media or anything.
Oh yeah,
Personally, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I've not met any rich person. I mean, obviously on social media and you're on YouTube, you see people, or in a movie, you
Right.
see people who are like, man, she's so rich, or or he's so rich, but man, the mind is crazy. It's not there.
Well, it's not really about the mind. Like I said, it's about all aspects of our lives. We gotta be rich in all aspects of our lives, and not just the two factors I've stated, because I mean, um, so I was thinking of it this way, and I hope I put it in the right words. Like, of course, there's that response I gave you about where we come from,
Hmm.
but to some extent, I also feel like being rich, or being rich in every aspect of our lives, also comes in a way to glorify God.
Mm.
Because I mean, uh, many other times, right? I'll give you an example where, uh, and I think we've talked about this before. Like, if you saw, if you went to a gas station and you saw like a Lambo or something like that in the night, right?
Hmm.
A very expensive car, the first instinct that will come to your mind is, what is this person involved in, right? Like,
Mm.
what every rich person we see, we kind of think they broke some rules.
We have a presupposition
Yeah,
about
we have a
them.
presupposed thought that this person broke some rules somehow to get to this place. Especially where I come from, back in Africa, we have this mindset that when we see a rich person, most often than not, the first thought that comes
Drug
to their
dealer.
mind is Satanist. This person,
Illuminati or something. Yeah.
yeah, right. But then, not knowing that we can be excellent in all aspects of our lives, we can be academicians, we can be wealthy people that are also coming from the kingdom. Like, we want to have a scenario, or want to get to a time where someone sees a very luxurious car and they ask, oh, which kingdom man is that?
Yeah. That's it.
Instead of whoa, what drugs are they involved in, or this person is a satanist, illuminati, and all that. So yeah, so it's about all aspects of our lives, and most of all, just trying to represent God.
Hmm.
Because there's this idea people have that being poor is synonymous to, I don't know, like you're gonna go to heaven just because you're
Just
poor. No, no,
because you're
no, no,
poor,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
we also
the prerequisite for heaven is being poor.
it's not, bro. Like, we also have to represent God in that area too, because we gotta make it and get to a place where people can identify the workings of God through our lives by how we are excellent. So yeah, I look at it that way. So what do we really drive for when we say we want to get rich, bro? We want to, we know where we come from. We want to we want to break that cycle, and most of all we also want to represent God in all aspects of our lives, especially riches in our minds, how we think, how we how we just present ourselves in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this verse: seek first the kingdom of God and all of its righteousness,
Right.
and everything else shall be added unto you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um when you were talking, that's the first thing that came to mind.
Right.
Is there is a hierarchy in our pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
And the first priority of order is seeking God,
Of course.
right? And when you seek God or the kingdom of God, which could be the system to which uh children of God should function within the kingdom
Right.
or
Right.
within society.
Yeah.
So it's not just encompassing the focal point, which is God, but everything involving God, right?
Right.
The benefit of that, which is the manifestations of everything else that shall be added unto you.
Right.
Have you ever heard about that statement of true riches?
Yep.
True riches.
Yeah.
Do you wanna like delve into that, like break it down as
I
what
mean,
you
yeah,
think
you
it
can
is?
set the tone.
Okay, so basically true riches is a there is so we live in a world, or let's think about it as a video game, right?
Right.
You're playing a video game and there's this control button that allows you to control what is happening within the game, right?
Right.
And this true riches is basically, instead of looking for things, let's say you want to look for money, you want to look for health, you want to look for this, instead of looking for all those things separately, you just seek for one particular things that's going to encompass it, everything that you need.
Of course.
That's true riches, the central vocal pursuit,
Yep.
right? Of that one particular things. And I think you sent me the reel on Instagram about this one guy was talking and he say, when you go to work and you're not making enough money, don't focus on just your work. Focus on bettering yourself,
Right.
making
Yep.
yourself better.
Mhm.
You also say make yourself a better version of yourself.
Right.
Right? So um that what encompasses true riches.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense. Seeking first the kingdom of God, and everything else should be uh, will be added to us, right? Because in Him lies riches and everything we're looking for. Um, but to add on, that isn't to make one possess a laissez-faire attitude
Mm,
after you have sought for for the kingdom of
okay.
God, because yeah, that's how like people mistake that. I mean, you have
Do
to
you
seek
think
the
the
kingdom of God, and still um of course I'm not putting it as seek this and seek
yeah,
that. You have to seek the kingdom of God, but God still said that He wouldn't bless someone that doesn't um
do the work of their hand? God
didn't
only
work
bless the one
the
who
work
does
of
the
the
work of
hand,
their
or
hand. Yeah,
He helps those that help with themselves.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So um after we've seek the kingdom of we've sought the kingdom of God, what's what are we how are we also trying to be excellent in representing Him, because we've sought His kingdom, and we people are looking at us as people that are imitating God.
Mhm.
So how well are we conducting ourselves, and also how well are we working towards being successful after we've sought the kingdom
The
of God
kingdom
as
of God.
well? Because
But
we also have to put in the work,
yeah,
right? So my main point is we have to put in the work to to get what we want, because he said, seek yet my kingdom and everything else shall be added to you.
Hmm.
But then he still said he won't help someone that doesn't help themselves. So you would have to go out there and get what you ensure that you want to get it. And of course, not putting aside the principles, the spiritual principles that are aligned with success and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the other day we were talking about the principle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday? I don't know.
I think it was the other day we were talking about the principle that govern wealth,
Yeah.
which is interesting because it's like if you look at it from, I think we're looking at it from a two dimension, right, aspect, which is the worldly dimension and the Christian dimensions, which
Right.
is it's based on the fundamental truth of who God is, right? Like the gospel.
Mhm.
That's the initiative of it,
Yeah.
right? And everything encompassed within the central vocal of the gospel,
Right.
right? And so anything that is outside of that no longer if anything that doesn't resemble the gospel within your pursuit for riches or for wealth,
Right.
then it's not of the kingdom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was actually my point. Yeah. So if you are pursuing uh everything you want to pursue, right? It's it's still what is in the will of God that would prevail. So what you need is to seek his kingdom and ask to be led,
Hmm.
and go out there and do the work,
Yeah.
and don't possess that laissez-faire attitude, because you won't get it if you still don't go out there and work.
I
Yeah.
think the lazy pursuit, the lazy ness, when it comes to that, derive from not knowing what actually is it that you are pursuing, not knowing even what that kingdom of God entail, because it's hard work,
Of
and if you
course.
truly pursue it, it's hard work. Um, and like, so let me ask you this question, and this kind of like encompasses a lot. So, how is it that the richest people in the world don't even know God, or they are not even believe the same thing we believe? Yet we claim to believe that we know the true God. Yet the one who are running the world don't even know God.
Um, if I'm to be honest with you, I really can't explain or talk for somebody else and how um they they attain their wealth and all that, and how they attain their success and all that. I I'm not in the place to comment on that, but all I know is for us that are in the kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
that are trying to get the success in to glorify God, or to represent God in everything we're in every
In
way,
every,
basically.
yeah,
um we we'd have to do that to represent him. I
yeah.
think that's the main goal. But of course, there's a lot of rich people that don't believe in God, but that's not where we fall in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
not where
that
we
two
fall.
dimension that I say,
Yeah.
there's a principle. So this is how I see it. That to get, for example, money, you have to bring value,
Right.
regardless whether you're a Christian or not.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and many Christians tend to not focus on the value aspect.
Yeah.
They just pray.
Yeah.
Like you pray, which is good. I'm not saying don't pray. But if you're gonna pray for 12 hours and you're supposed to work 5 hours ago, you're not gonna make money. You're gonna be you're gonna be starving
Yeah.
because you don't have that. And I'm not saying that those two are not important, but what govern you having money is having the value, bringing value to the table. When you offer a value or a product or a service to
Yeah.
someone,
Yeah.
they're gonna in exchange they're gonna give you their
Yeah.
their money.
Actually, that's right. I think I got 2 points from what you said. Um, the first one is value, and the second one is also I can't think of it on top of my head, but it has to do with those people knowing the principles that drive attaining what we want to get.
Yeah.
So uh, I was talking to a friend, and he said, well, the the principle that governs success is is benefits everybody, even those that don't believe in God, unfortunately.
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, the
Yeah.
principle that governs success or attaining what we want to attain favors everybody as long as they put that principle
To work.
into work
Yeah.
or they practicalize it. Let's say like most of the rich people, like you told me, right? You say they don't believe in God, but most of them are people like they philanthropists. They give out to the communities. They they they're into giving because giving also drives success in a way,
Yeah.
right? So even if they uh don't really believe in God or subscribe to what we subscribe to, they are still practicing the principles that govern wealth.
Mhm.
So it's unfortunately it's universal.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also value. Um, yeah, and also value. There's it has to do with how can I put this? It has to do with investing yourself with the
Mhm.
right skills. So
So skill set.
yeah, so that's to solidify on what you talked about the value aspect, right? We have to invest in ourselves to be valuable enough to do the work.
Mhm.
All right. So yeah, and hopefully you ask me a further question that I can give you a response.
Did you ever have you ever heard of that? It take 10 years to own a skill. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't heard of
Take
that.
10 years to hone a skill. So I think like what you say, fundamentally, what drive certain things is our principles.
Right.
And those principles is something that God set up,
And the
which
universal.
it's universal to every person.
Right.
Like Ecclesiastics said, the rain fall on the poor and the rich. Right? There's opportunity to fall in each and every one of us. And the one that's going to benefit from that falling of the rain is the one that plowed the field. You know,
Right.
is the one that cater to their skill set and able to utilize the opportunity that God has presented to everybody universally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that's actually interesting because as far as success is concerned, I feel like people in the world are the ones that are performing or doing the principles that we're supposed to be doing to get what we need to
We need to get
we need to get or where we need to get.
uh-huh.
But and like I said, it's unfortunate that it still works for everybody, but it's set up that way. So yeah, the principles of success are universal.
Yeah. And it's up to us to decide on how to utilize that to the
Right.
maximum to
Right.
get to it.
Yeah. And I remember the was it the other day I was telling you about the book I was reading.
True the richest man in
Yeah,
Babylon.
yeah. I said I put it this way, of course.
The is it
The
the goddess?
goddess
Yeah.
of success will not favor you if you're not well, if you don't go out there. Like I'm trying to paraphrase it.
Hmm.
Yeah, the goddess of success will not favor you if she doesn't find you prepared. I think
Yes.
that's how it was
Yeah.
written. So yeah, so we need to set ourselves up, or um, prepare ourselves in a way, and be able to put all the principles into actualization, like
Mm.
working them out and doing them, so we could attain what we want to attain. So it's about being prepared. It's about going out there. It's about uh, putting the principles into play, so you could see that success you want to see. Because at the end of the day, you will only be a talk instead of
Instead of,
seeing
yeah,
the
the
results
manifestation of it. Yeah.
of what we're trying to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, you can only go as far as what you have prepared and what your mind is capable of envisioning.
of course. Yeah,
Yeah. If your mind has limitation to what you want to attain, then that you're gonna stop at your limitation.
of course.
So it's interesting. But The Richest Man in Babylon is one of the most interesting book I've ever read.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think you remember, you gave me that book.
I did.
I still have your book.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
wow, I did.
I mean, I had mine, but I left it back home in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I came, I was like, I'm here to finish this, and you gave it to me. I still have it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
that book is amazing. So I met someone
Yeah.
who was like very rich. I would think he was like a vice president of Henny's. The underwear Henny's. Hens, is it Hens?
Oh
Hanes?
yeah.
Yeah. And he told me, read this two book, and if you read this two book, your life will manifest to change. The first book was The Richest Man in Babylon, and the second book was The Greatest Salesman.
Yeah.
Have you ever read that book, The Greatest Salesman?
The Greatest Salesman.
Yes, it's one of the most
I'm here to
interesting
read
books.
it.
Yeah, but it's basically about this one young man who decided he was working for one of the greatest salesperson
Yeah.
in that particular area, right?
Mm.
And um after being exposed to what it's like to have that kind of wealth,
Yeah.
he also wanted to build a family and wanted to build a life similar to that. So they gave him a book, scroll. He when the greatest salesperson passed away, he gave him a book, right? The scroll. And this scroll has basically, the way they introduce it is like, has ancient principles that will make you be appealing and make you want to be able to like basically succeed in everything that you do,
Right.
especially selling, right? And it's very mysterious the way they present it. I mean, the second book kind of like go into introducing Christ and everything like that,
Yeah.
but the way the first book is introduced, it's very fascinating. It's kind of like it also kind of bring this proposition at the end, as
Yeah.
if Saul also, Saul in the Bible
Right.
was given these scrolls, and he was the last one to be given this scroll. That's why he's effective in advancing the gospel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. So to Paul.
Yeah.
Bro, I was thinking so like King Saul. I'm like,
No, no,
what?
no, no. So to Paul. So to Paul.
Yeah.
But like, so the thing that it focuses on the most is the skill set. Focusing on the skill, like focusing on bettering yourself.
Yeah.
So and like what you say, which I think they are fundamental. Three things I've come to realize based on that conversation. Number one is exposure. Being exposed to that,
Yeah.
right? Because your mind, if you never like conceptualize it in your mind, you are unable to manifest it.
Of course. Yeah.
So exposure, learn the skill set and value, like what we discussed.
Yeah. Of course.
I think that's kind of like an interesting way of encapsulating the pursuit of
Yeah. That's how I think that's how it should be looked at, especially the aspect of value. bro. That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Because if you are not rising up in value, you would basically be at the same place,
Yes.
and there won't be room for growth, as we're discussing.
But there is room for growth. It's just
Without
you're not
value,
able to. No, no. Well, I mean, like, um, there is room. There is room for growth, but because you are incapable of practicing and increasing your value, then there is no room for
yeah, yeah,
growth.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's no room for growth if you're not practicing towards
increasing the
increasing your
value. Yeah.
value. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think value is very important because, and what's interesting, our value has been misaligned also
Yeah.
in this world where we value momentary pleasure. We value getting dopamine on Snapchat, scrolling on Snapchat
Yeah.
more than um more than like pursuing what is meaningful. Right? We have replaced our pursuit of value to the pursuit of meaningless temporarily pleasure. So,
Yeah, that's unfortunate to start with. Yeah, it's so unfortunate that we have sort of misaligned in how we're supposed to do everything, right? And of course, we're concentrating on the aspect of value. Um, it's become a little difficult, especially in the era we're in now,
yeah.
to actualize and um, invest in your value.
And what's crazy is that this era that we live in is the easiest that has ever been made for
Of
you to
course.
actually get it.
Of course. I mean, people in the olden days,
Yeah. It was
that
hard.
was, yeah, that was hard. That was hard. But now, of course, with the introduction of resources that make us lazy in a way and that eat up our time is what I think causes everything. But of course, it's still about your mindset
Yeah.
and picturing what you wanna attain.
Mhm.
Once you picture what you wanna attain, you will get to it. Um, I have a friend, all right. Uh, he of course he's not like a friend like he's somewhat older than me, but yeah. So this guy, he was like he was like my tutor basically in school. He he said something to me, and I think he put it on his social media. He said something to me. He's like, 5 years ago, I would tell you where I want to be now, and I've already seen it come to practicality. Like
Mhm.
I've already seen it come to um to to existence, right? And I can also give you a time frame of 5 more years about where I'm seeing myself, and I will be there.
Mhm.
So he knows his value, right? To say that, and he knows that he's gonna put in the work to attain what he wants to attain. Hence the boldness of saying, I know where I can be in the next 5 years and still work towards it and get it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was he's like a professor now back in Zambia in the
Right.
university I was at, and it took him exactly the same amount of time
Yeah.
that he planned
To
to
get
get
to
to
where
that
he was
point,
getting.
because he knew his value and he worked towards bettering his value as
Mhm.
well as getting consistent into what he's trying to achieve. And I
Mhm.
mean, now he's attained what he wanted to attain, and I'm like, okay, this thing could actually work. So yeah, I could get some motivation from that too. Like,
I guess
bro,
I thought you don't need motivations.
you caught me. Well, that's where motivation comes in, because I mean, it's just a factor.
Yeah.
It might come and go, and I said it anyway. So yeah, but I could emulate that. I could get some motivation. Like, you know what? Catch me in 5 years. You will see me a certain way, and definitely, yeah,
Where you see yourself 5 years from now?
yeah. What?
Where you see yourself 5 years from now?
Where do I see myself 5 years from now? Not going to disclose that.
With a family.
For the fam. What do I see myself 5 years from now? For the fam. Like, you're gonna see me in 5 years, of course. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it right now.
Yeah.
All right. I think that was an interesting conversation in regard to success, values, and everything. So thank you for putting up and having these wonderful times. And you're gonna be coming again, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. You moved here, so we good.
Yeah, we get.
We're good. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Watch out for the next episode because it's gonna be fire. Peace out.